All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Team Talk. I'm going to be your host today. My name is Caleb James. As always, before you get going, make sure to like and subscribe the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We got all kinds of great stuff headed your way in the very near future. Now, I have an extra special episode today. Some of you guys might have seen the film review I did with Graham Cannon over Darian Kennard. In the show today, you are going to very shortly see the recording I have that I did with myself, CJ Jones, and Christain Ainsworth that we did over Chiefs rookie wide receiver, second-round draft pick Skyy Moore. It's Western Michigan versus Pittsburgh. Moore puts on one of his best performances of the year. He displays all of his strong suits, his tendencies. You see a couple of the weaknesses and some things he needs to work on. A monster game for him, over 120 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. He is going to be a guy who I think you see catch on, around mid-season, late season. He's got tremendous hands. He's a solid route runner. You're going to see it on the tape. He runs some awesome slant routes. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to see. I hope you guys all enjoy the video. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe. Please, please, please. It means a whole lot to me, especially share it with your friends. Share it with every Chiefs fan you know. We're really trying to pick up and get this thing going. So I really appreciate all the support we've had on the first few episodes so far, everybody. And please enjoy this video. All right, everybody. And as I just mentioned, I'm joined here by CJ Jones and Christain Ainsworth. We're here to break down some Skyy Moore film for you guys today. And there he is at the top of the screen on this play, just kind of, they're just kind of running the ball here. He's not too horribly involved in the play. What are a couple of things that you guys look for, if you're playing wide receiver and it is a run play and it's really not kind of, you're not too closely involved in the play?
So if I'm a scout and I'm looking at Skyy Moore, trying to gauge where I'm valuing him in the draft, I look at leverage and how he kind of knows his assignment. So obviously it's an inside run. He takes his wide receiver, or he takes his DB out of the play, which kind of shows me that he's, doing pretty well. He understands the concepts that are being put out there, and he executes them fairly well.
No, absolutely. But sentiment what Christian said, just knowing your leverage, knowing where the strength and where the run play is going. Like we said, it's an inside zone, so you want to get your DB out of the play as far as possible. So running hard, giving them the impression that it's a pass route and it's a passing concept. So get out of your break hard, come off the line with some explosion, giving them that thought process if you're going deep, and then next thing you know, the running back hits it for a big play, and you can usually get a good block at the end of the play and usually go for a touchdown.
Yeah, and this was one of his better games of the season against Pittsburgh, and they do run the ball a little bit because they're a smaller school, it's just kind of a talent difference, but he does end up having a big game. You guys are going to want to stick around because he finishes this one with 11 catches and 124 yards. And I'll try to speed through some of this stuff here where they're kind of just running the ball a little bit so we can see if we can get into some actual action here. I believe we've just watched this one already also. All right. But yeah, I mean, some pre-draft stuff on Skyy, what were you guys thinking kind of watching his tape and watching what he does coming out?
So I kind of saw him as a slot guy, a guy who can play the slot really, really well, but also has some outside versatility. There are a few things he needs to work on, but overall, he's honestly a pretty good prospect and a super value getting him in the second round. Like that was a crazy pick by Veach, especially after he traded back.
Yeah, evaluating all the receivers. I loved his releases. I think he arguably had the best releases as far as all the guys in the draft. So, like Christian said, a great value in the second round. A guy that I think he measured as he had the biggest hands in the combine as well. So, great route runner, great at getting off the line. So, yeah, I was very pleased with the pick and where we got him.
And speak of the devil, here he is right here. I like how sudden he is. I like how, there's no wasted movements when he hits his plant. It's real fluid. It's smooth. His body's under control. And I know what do you guys think of this catch he makes here? Because, this looks like, that looks like a pretty NFL caliber route he's running right there. Coming in through the end zone view.
Yeah, basically it's just like a bang eight or like a skinny post up the field. So, little 3-step, get in the middle of the field, catch it with your hands, not your body. Connect the ball. finish through contact. Yeah, this is basically, and we do a lot of these. You guys know how we do our RPOs here. So yeah, I expect to see a lot of this over the middle of the field. So yeah, that's great to see, especially with the referee right there in his way, line of vision, distraction drill. So yeah, that's great raw, great catch, good play.
Yeah, I really liked how he attacked that DB's leverage going into the break of the route. Like you see him kind of lean it to the right and threaten him deep outside, cuts it, plants it right back off that foot, goes right down the middle of the field. It's an easy completion. Like that's the type of stuff that we're going to want to see in this offense, especially without Tyreek Hill, somebody who can attack the intermediate middle of the field consistently. And on this play, he does that really, really well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
what I liked about that is the finish of the play, though. Catches it with his hands, secures it in. He's going to take a lick, but he doesn't really let it bother him too much. He's a tough competitor. And really, I think it's interesting the more you go back and look at what he does or what he did while at West Michigan. I think the funny thing about it is he played quarterback in high school. His first year ever playing receiver was his true freshman year at West Michigan, and he puts up 800 yards as a receiver. Takes a little bit of a step back, he takes a little bit of a step back during the COVID season in 2020, and then this last season he just explodes for over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. He was a 3-time All MAC player. He was a star in that conference. And he comes into a team, there's a lot of competition. He's going to have a chance to compete right away for a job.
No, I'm very excited for this room. I know you guys can probably similar on this sentiment. Is like we have a lot of different body types, and I love the way, like Caleb said earlier, I love the way he gets off the ball, he explodes, finishes through plays. We love his hand contact as well. But I love the way the room looks now. Like Christian said, it's just like we always attack defenses during the deep ball and trying to get like those 15, 20-yard plays down the field, which is great. But I love how we're going to truly be able to attack defenses in all phases, short, intermediate, and deep. And we have so many different body types and so many different route runners in this group. So I'm very excited for these guys.
They try to get him on like a little sweep swing pass here, little jet swing pass action. I think Pitt just sniffs it out. He doesn't really have too much of a place to go. It's just kind of Pitt has numbers on it.
Yeah, they defense won that play.
I don't think he's like the most tremendous, I don't think he's like the X factor in the open field, but his stuff is more what he's going to do, like Christian said, in the intermediate game and kind of where he can like fit in as just like a pass catcher. I don't know if he's the yak guy though.
Yeah, definitely not a yak player. He's not going to be like Mecole where you can, give him a wide receiver screen and watch him break it for 60. But he can absolutely, like goal line stuff. He has the release packages where he can get open consistently. So it'll be nice to see like a red zone threat, a true red zone threat outside of Kelsey this year. Because, when the Chiefs get into that red zone, they can line Kelsey up on the outside and watch him go to work. But that's not really where they like to play him as much. So seeing somebody out there that can do like the D-hop, one-on-one, get open type of stuff, it's going to be refreshing, honestly, because I've been waiting for a receiver like that to enter the Chiefs locker room for a while.
Absolutely.
Trying to use him like Mecole here. It's almost funny. He's almost like the anti-Mecole, polished route runner, does the fundamentals well, just kind of lacks that like second level explosion for the big play. And, they're trying to, they're just trying to, he's their best player on their team. They're just trying to get him in space on these plays. They're kind of trying to feel out, what Pittsburgh has by way of athletes. I think this is only the second game of the year. So really these teams probably haven't seen a ton of tape, even from last season with it being the COVID year and all. So it's just kind of they're feeling each other out. I'm sure he would have liked to get another block on that one, but
he made a couple guys miss too on that play. So I think his yak may low-key be underrated, guys. I think he may be better than what we expect.
I hope so.
Because he's definitely a technician getting off the line. So I love his release package. Like Caleb said earlier, when he gets in and out of his break, he's sudden, he's burst. So yeah, I love him off the line. So like Christian said, a true technician, a true route runner is something I've been screaming for as well, Christian. So I'm glad we finally got it.
That'd be nice. Yeah. This game is good. This is actually a pretty good game. I think Western Michigan actually wins this one.
I think they did too.
Yep. I like that a lot.
Another slant.
See, another one. Catch it with his hands.
He
doesn't fear contact. He's ready, man.
He just eats him alive. Man, he's so quick out of that.
Well, you
Oh,
see that
that
release,
side
right?
step.
That's what CJ was talking about earlier. He uses that split like double tap type release. He's got a guy
Yes.
playing press man, uh, like heads up alignment. So he has to sell outside to get that DB to move, and he does it incredibly well. I mean, look at the DB is 2 seconds
Look
in.
at his
He's already
hips.
flipped his hips. Yeah.
He's already think it's going deep. Yep.
Yep.
And then he just finds this. He has a natural, he's just, I don't know, man. He's just got that natural tendency if he finds space that maybe from his days of playing quarterback. He also played cornerback in high school. So he probably really, I mean, he's got to be a high football IQ guy to be able to play those two positions at a high level in high school enough to get recruited. But then to be able to come play wide receiver, he's only played receiver for 3 seasons. To me, that's a little wild, just as far as his development as a player goes.
No, that's definitely impressive to play quarterback most of your life and and it's never a transition to switching positions. Like you said, coming in as a true freshman, and then you come in, they're expecting you to be the leader and one of the best players on the team, and to go out there and do what he did, it's definitely impressive, especially at his height and his body type. Because when I watch him, I get a lot. I don't know what kind of comparisons you guys gave him for his draft measurables, but I got a lot of Tyler Lockett, Steve Smith type vibes when I was watching him.
Oh yeah, maybe not as quick as Tyler Lockett, but absolutely that like dog mentality, physical wide receiver that'll just eat you alive in open space. Like he's just so great, especially in those intermediate routes of just like stacking guys up, like creating separation, making the DB feel like he's coming back to him, and then breaking again. Like that's something Steve Smith did so well when he was with the Panthers. I mean, just super
Absolutely.
physical, super good route runner. Like that's the type of guy that the Chiefs got.
I
And that
think
goes back to Caleb's point too. In playing quarterback, he just knows, he sees windows. Like Caleb said, he knows when to sit, when to run through, when zone. And playing quarterback, that helps. So I think that was a good point, Caleb.
when I see him play, he honestly reminds me of like Cole Beasley or Hunter Renfrow, someone like that who will just like, it's never going to be the big massive gain or the big play, but he's just going to gnaw at you for like 10 or 15 a pop. And you're going to be like, this guy's not that physically impressive. Like, how is he just beating us? It's just because he's, he wants it more. He's just a technician of a route runner. That's kind of the vibe I get from Skyy, at least when I'm watching him.
See, I kind of see that too, but I think Skyy has just another dimension to his game that maybe Renfro doesn't have with those huge hands and those long arms. When he stacks a DB and has got him between, which if you guys don't know, stacking a DB basically just means you're back in front of him, you've beaten him on the route, and you've put your body in between him and where the quarterback is going to throw the ball. And he does that so well. And there's huge room for error there. Like if Mahomes overthrows him, well, you maybe didn't overthrow him because his arms are so long. You know what I mean? He's got that ability to stack defenders and make plays on the backside, which again is something we haven't seen in this Chiefs DB or wide receiver room for a while. Like that, it's going to be so nice to see him play.
And
Absolutely.
I think that's going to be interesting as a mismatch because this Chiefs receiving core is going to be able to create mismatches not only with height and size, but when you get like Travis Kelce, MVS, two really tall guys on the field, maybe even throw in Jody, and then you got Juju. These are just like real big guys who may require extra attention. They're probably going to have to put one of their smaller defensive backs on Skyy, one of their guys who, maybe isn't going to be ready for that kind of physical game. He could be a smaller guy that thrives on like the contested catches out of the slot, and that would, Christain, your point, that would give him that extra, that would give him a difference making ability from like a Beasley or a Renfro with that kind of, maybe go up and have a little jump ball ability or contested catch.
Absolutely. I think he can play outside, like Christian said earlier at the beginning. I think Sky has the ability to play inside, which I think will definitely be his money spot. But that versatility to play outside and to split out wide is definitely something that is expanded upon, comparable to like Cole Beasley and Hunter Renfro's game. When I think of those guys, I think of like they're really good in the slot. They're really good at beating you on two-way goals. But I think Sky is so good. I think if you put him on the outside, he can beat guys just as much as he does inside, like we've been seeing on these clips here.
I'm surprised they don't go to him in the red zone really at all here.
I think this is a heavy formation, so I'm guessing they were trying to do some kind of like power or maybe zone read action. They scored on it. And usually, like I actually posted a play like this on Twitter the other day. They usually on plays like that where it's heavy, they kind of go like a backside option. So they'll say, "Hey, Sky, alert! I'll throw a fade to you if I like it. I'll give you like a hand signal to let you know I'm coming to you." But usually, if not, yeah, they try to run the ball if they're physical enough.
They had all eyes. They had all eyes on him on that one.
Cause he definitely could have thrown it to him if he liked it. He definitely could have done it.
He had some monster seasons as an underclassman. I know it's early in the season of this game, but they were obviously Pitt is game planning for what he can do. Just his individual ability.
Well, they got another wide receiver there. I can't remember his name. I think it's number one, either number 1 or number 4, who like previous to this game, the first game of the season, he had like a 200-yard game. So they're kind of prepping to see him too. And I think Skyy kind of surprised them a little bit. They're like, we'll prep for this guy, but there's really that number 4 that we really need to watch out for. And Skyy came in and just lit him up. I mean, open every other play, extremely technical, like just doing everything you'd like to see.
I know scouts were salivating over this game because I believe Jordan Addison played in this game as well for Pitt, the guy that won the Biletnikoff. So
not big, but he just kills you for 10. They're playing off of him now here. Yep. Knows
good
his
play, good leverage.
Finds the landmark.
Focus on the
he
catch.
Had a nice rocker step into that break too, where he kind of freezes the DB and then doesn't allow him enough time to drive on it before the ball can get to him. That's good technique out of the break.
Exactly. Come out of it sharp. Don't roll out of it. Don't give a DB a chance to get an ankle. And the quarterback did a good time throwing it before. And that's really the thing on out routes. You have to really essentially throw the ball before the receiver even makes his break because the ball is already on the opposite hash. So don't give a DB a chance to make a play on the ball. So the ball should be out before he's even breaking.
Yep. I'll tell you what, I do kind of wish that Skyy would be a little bit more deceptive in and out of his breaks. There are some times that you see him when he is clearly loading up for that first long step into the break. And next level DBs might be able to see that a little bit better than the Pitt DBs. But I mean, you can only, go up against the competition you're dealt. So if they're going to bite on that, if you can be not as deceptive and still win most of your reps, like that's just going to be the way that it is.
Oh, yeah.
Got a little cover 1 action right there.
Ooh.
Ooh.
A little overthrown. Let's go back and just take a look at that, though, because I mean, I know they said Western Michigan's quarterback might get drafted, but I feel like another quarterback might hit this one because
got off coverage, give him a little stutter, slot go.
Ugh.
Who's there? Just disconnected. But I like how he came off the ball sudden, gave him a little stutter at like 5, get the DB to shuffle his feet, get him to stop his feet, and then basically just beat him to a spot. And the quarterback, I could see his read. I could see what he was trying to do, but I think he just mistimed him just by like a second. But good play, good read.
Well, I would say that he could have threatened inside a little bit more because you see this DB, he's lined up. Well, he's also using catch technique, which basically means let the wide receiver run into you before you start backpedaling. And
he tried to stutter him. Yeah, he just really didn't. Yep. The DB didn't fall for it. Yeah, he had good eyes.
Yep, he's disciplined, and he was giving him outside, so he let him take that outside release.
Exactly.
I just maybe wish he would have threatened a little bit more inside. That might have created more separation late into the route.
Facts. I mean, and the play was there to be made. I believe if the quarterback was probably obviously worried about the outside corner because he fell off because obviously he sees the ball come up, he leaves number 1 and immediately looks at number 2 for Skyy. So it's a tough play to make. I think that if I believe when Caleb frees, I think they're in 0. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, they're at 0.
Yeah, I think they were in 0 that play. So yeah, no safety over the top. So it was the right read. It's just they just missed it by like half an inch.
Yep.
Game of inches, man.
Yeah, barely.
By a half an inch or get it by a half an inch. I think he's just trying to make a play on that one. He just got a little too over anxious with it. Calm it down a little bit more. I mean, he seems pretty calm when he's out there playing. There's never really too many instances, what I've seen, where he looks like he's completely lost or anything. So, I mean, he has that kind of mental fortitude to be able to be out there. I think, yep.
That slant may be his money route, boys. That slant may be a lot of touchdowns this year.
I think it is going to be, man. I like it.
Boy.
Let's just go frame
he
by
does that
frame
so
here.
well.
Look at that release. Like, squares him up, threatens outside, beats him back inside. Good hands. Doesn't allow him to jab him. Wide open.
Dude, he's taking some sort of MMA or boxing class.
Bro,
I'm
he loved
certain
that slant, man. He loves
because
that.
this is one thing I did notice I liked when I did my initial film write up on him. He has really good hands for a receiver. I like the way he hand fights. I like the way he's able to he almost looks like he's like a defensive end getting ready to do a club or like a rip move out of these breaks with these defensive backs. But I mean, this guy is just flat footed. He's caught him flat footed. There's nothing he can do. He's trying to just hold him there, just trying to get a flag thrown or tackle him or do whatever. But I mean, it's 6.
Dude, and you see him threaten that restack. Like, oh, you better get outside and try to at least get a hand on it. If like he almost threatens vertical, like especially towards the end of that route, but then breaks it off back inside, and that's a wide open completion. He could not have been more open on that play.
He does this very naturally. Sidestep, jab, get back inside. Like Christian said, get his hands off. And like Caleb said, he catches everything with his hands, which I love about him. Then he finishes the play. So this is definitely, I could tell, one of his favorite routes for sure, because he runs these almost to perfection. This is like the 3rd time we've seen him break this down.
Yeah. He doesn't, what does he stay? He stands 5'10", 195 is what they list him at. I mean, I think the Chiefs are going to be able to do something with him, though, because
Plays big, man. Plays big.
He's not very big like on paper, but he's going to be bigger, larger than a lot of the dudes he's going to be going against. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I think he might struggle early, especially with more handsy, like big press man corners. But the good part about that is we really don't face any, high level corners until like week 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So he's going to be able to get a game or 2 underneath his belt where he can, kind of feel it out, see how the game has changed, and then come back. Hopefully that gives him some confidence later in the season.
Right.
No, I love that we play Arizona week 1. Like Christian said, yeah, we don't really see a lot of elite corners over there in their group. I know they got Marco Wilson. I believe they have Robert Alford. I don't know if he's still on the roster, but yeah, outside of J.C. Jackson, yeah, it's going to be a good little transitional period for him as well, and all the receivers.
One of the things I like, I know a lot of people when they do their film review, guys, they'll like cut it up or whatever. But one of the things I like about doing it like this is it's not just like we're just sharing a highlight reel. We're going through play in and play out. Like
exactly.
We've talked a couple of times about some routes where he didn't even make a catch on. We just kind of like what he was doing, or some things he needed to work on. This is kind of like what a coach would be doing with their players. They're not going to sit there and just watch highlight reels. They're going to go in there and watch the entire game of what happened. It's fun just to kind of skip ahead sometimes, though, because we don't need all the run plays and incomplete passes.
Yeah.
We don't need them all. Yeah, Christian, I think that's the kid they were also trying to get ready for. Didn't they had some guy get drafted a couple years ago? It was like Dwayne Eskridge. He came from here, didn't he?
Yeah, Eskridge. Yeah, I believe he's in Seattle.
I thought he was
in
Seattle also.
Yeah, I accidentally watched 2021 tape and saw him, and I was like, dude, I don't know who this Skyy Moore guy is, but Dwayne Eskridge is lighting it up. And then I'm like, oh, all right.
Western Michigan, they produce some guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to. They got
Greg Jennings went here too, so they produce some receivers.
The great Andrew Wiley,
Mr. Wiley,
and Max Crosby.
Yeah, I forgot Max Crosby went there.
Oh, did Corey Davis go here too?
Maybe. I don't remember on him. There's just a lot of talent in the state of Michigan. Not all of it always ends up at Michigan.
Yeah, it's nice to see too. I love watching Oklahoma and Arkansas as much as the next guy, but
yeah.
There's always these smaller schools that have great talent, guys. Just everyone can't get recruited. So you got to go somewhere.
That's why it pisses me off college football in some instances going to they're trying to go to these 2 super conferences. It's because dude, there's guys you never even heard of. They're going to be lining up on Sunday playing big time snaps.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's going to hurt them even more as far as exposure goes, but because they're going to have less chances to even get against bigger schools. Because who's to say Pitt doesn't join the Big 12 if the ACC dissolves and if the ACC goes half to the SEC, this game, was it going to be, you know, are they even going to have a chance, or are they going to just be stuck playing conference games and kind of Western Michigan and be like, have to figure it out?
Everyone needs that one game a year where they play that big school. That's usually where guys try to shine for sure.
And Skyy shines in this one. I mean, he was ready to go.
Absolutely. He was definitely locked in.
He's locked in for sure into this one.
You know, I watched this game earlier today, and I was actually pretty surprised that Pickett struggled so much against this defense. Like, oh, all right.
All right.
That yak is there.
Yeah.
That yak is there, man. And being around guys like Mecole, and I think being around guys like Trav, you're going to pick up on little things like, hey, when you catch this route, roll out of it on your left shoulder, roll out of it out of your right shoulder, and you know where the defense is going to be coming from. And then obviously we know Juju's a physical guy as well. So I think just being in this group, guys are, and obviously like Mecole is obviously one of the best at it in the league as well. So I think this group is going to be definitely very good at yak and building plays after the catch. So I'm excited about this group.
This is definitely a play Andy Reid would run at some point in the game. We've seen them, you know, try to run similar stuff to this a couple of times.
Absolutely. That slant bubble.
You're going to have Trav out here. He'll probably have Juju or MVS out here. They're going to, you know, we've seen them try to attempt stuff like that before in the past. I'm sure we're going to see more of it, you know, just to get Skyy involved in the offense. If he just start out slow, they can use plays like this to kind of get him going a little bit.
Easy money plays. Bubble. They could do slant bubble. They could do pump and go. They could do a lot of things in that formation.
I mean, we know he can design plays well, so.
Yeah. Well, perfect play call, too. Like, this is a perfect play call for this situation. Like, they're either running cover 2 man or cover 2, and puts it right there. I mean, basically a 1v1 in the open field. Who can make the play?
You see 3 versus 3, hat on a hat. You block your man, you block him. Then it's just up to Skyy to make a play and make one guy miss. And he did. So this one guy just got pursuit on him, but he made a guy miss. So
reads his block well. Dang, we got helmets coming off on him at the end of that one.
Guys are pissed off trying to tackle Skyy, huh, guys?
Yeah, their day doesn't get much easier against him. Takes him to town. I want to see where this play is at. Christian said there was a play he was talking about.
Yeah, I think it was 5:42 left in the second.
I think we've already passed that because the second quarter.
We must have passed it.
Was it one of those plants?
I can't remember. I just remember it being important. I think it was the one he broke that guy's ankles on.
Okay. Yeah, it was probably that touchdown one.
Yeah, I like that outside release he has there. It's just not doing anything with it.
Well, and I like that he's doing that in these off reps, if you could call them that, where he knows he's not getting the ball. Like that's what Davante Adams does. He'll set you up thinking, oh, run. You know, he's just testing out these different releases on you, seeing how you'll bite on him.
Exactly. That's basically what you're supposed to do. Just see how the DB reacts. Just do a couple of different releases. Like, this is how you react to that one. Okay, this is how I know he's going to play it.
The game within the game.
Game within the game.
You don't ever want to see guys just out there standing, you know, in the receiver room. You don't want to just see them out there standing, even if they're not directly involved in the play. You know, either be blocking or trying to see if you can get a tendency off someone like he does again right there on that one. He's going to run him out past the play. But the defensive back has still got to be on guard. You know, it's not like back in the day where, you know, if the DB, you know, sees like run action the other way, he can just give up and start jogging. You know, these guys got to be wired in at both spots now with the RPO game, and as much as teams are running those looks into the passing game also. But I guess you could almost say it adds like a level of paranoia for the defensive back. The more he starts seeing stuff, the more, you know, the more thinking he's going to do about, okay, what do I got to stop now? Just an advantage for the offense.
Especially when you've already scored a touchdown. So they're already having their eyes on everything you do. So easy way to get tendencies and easy way to learn coverage as well.
Oh, yeah. I think he's got 50 yards by now, too. So, you know, he's shaping up to have a 100-yard game, already has a TD. Their defensive coordinator's starting to sweat.
Oh, yeah, he's cooking them.
And every time the safety's lined up over him, he has inside help. So they're definitely shading coverage toward his side.
Yep.
Big 3rd and 1 here.
We got a little 2x2 action. Okay.
And they're going to him. Now he's got to make his play. First
Got it.
down.
First down. Easy money.
Not much.
The coordinator definitely isn't scared. He loves playing his 1 and his 0. He loves his man.
They have been doing a lot. They're just trying to take advantage of this quarterback.
Yeah, they think they're going to just beat up on this line.
Teams
Or
still blitzing college football.
Man, a lot. He thinks his quarterback. He's making reads. Like every time he's one-on-one man, he's throwing at the sky. So
it's another good play call, though.
Oh, they switch quarterbacks too.
Good job not to give it there by the quarterback. Let's
take what the defense gives you, fellas. Easy money.
Yep.
And, if he is struggling early on, I'm sure Andy Reid will eventually start to draw some plays up for him, some of those engineered plays. We always say they're engineered for McCole or whatever. I'm sure he would do something for Skyy, but I don't know if he gets open like that, they may not need to.
Absolutely.
Another slant.
Now he's really cooking because now he's
slant. If it's a slant or a skinny post, I think we can safe to say he's probably going to win, fellas.
Well, especially he's got a DB, like safety out there covering him. Like, look at how he just freezes that DB, even for just half a second when he goes into that break.
They're just asking for it, though, playing that far off of him. I think he's more than content. He's more than content to go take the underneath route and catch the ball and then continue to try to make a play.
No press coverage at all. They're just, like you said, just giving it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Take what they give you. I mean, the quarterback, thank goodness he recognizes that also.
Exactly. I think we're going to see a lot of single high this year anyway, because teams are obviously going to try to see if we really can get rid of the ball and beat teams in the short game this year as well.
I hope so. I like that kind of stuff.
Me too. It makes it easier for the quarterback to read.
Yep.
I think we could be looking at a season this year where we see maybe not like the most giant numbers from Pat Mahomes, but I think we could see a scenario this year where it's like we see like his most efficient play ever. I'm talking like terms of like passing percentage, completion percentage, passer rating. I feel like those numbers for him this year could be off the roof. We still don't know though how these teams are gonna, react. Are they still gonna keep playing the too high cover shell now that Tyreek's gone? Are MVS and McCole gonna have to show a lot more for teams to want to bust that stuff out again, or are they gonna just completely change the way? The way the teams are all being built now, I really don't see them shifting out of that because now they got to build for Herbert and Allen and all these other guys now, all these other teams. So I really don't see too much of a shift away from these too high shells they're seeing. So that should mean the underneath route's going to be open all day.
Yeah. Well, and Pat showed us that he can be incredibly efficient without Tyreek on the field. Like he's done that every opportunity that he's been given. So to see him, well, I think this year also we probably won't see as many balls come off wide receivers' hands and get intercepted. Like if that starts happening with Skyy, we got a problem. But his hands, I think, might be too big. I don't know if that'll happen too often.
No, facts. I think we have a lot of more dependable guys in this room. Trav, Juju, Skyy. I'm very comfortable if we throw the ball over the middle of the field. That guys are definitely going to secure the catch for sure.
See what they decide to do here.
I love that formation. That's one of my favorite ones. I love stack.
I like it too.
Because you could do so many options out of it. I love stacks.
Man, I've been drawing. I'll show y'all some of this later.
Oh my God, look at that! Yeah,
this dude's a baller too, man. This dude's good. I love that stack though. I wish we'd run. I have a feeling this year they'll probably run some plays out of that.
Please, stack, I love stack, bro.
I think they'll probably line up Juju in front of MVS, and then they'll probably line up like Travis in front of McCole, and you'll have so many different options off of stuff you can do with that. If they just run like they could run like a screen. You can run like a little like go route off of like a fake screen kind of look. It's going to be, I'll show you guys what I've been doodling up here. I've just been doing it for fun in my free time just because I get bored and stuff. Well, Skyy's actually doing some blocking here.
Get in there, Skyy. There we go.
Get in there. Dog him a little bit.
It took him a while, but he got it.
Yeah. We're not going to be asking him to do too much of that.
Just get in the way, Skyy. Get in the way.
I bet if someone
Yep.
taught him, though, he could probably, if it wasn't a flag nowadays, I'm sure he'd be a nasty crackback blocker, like if it were like 10 or 15 years ago.
Exactly. All you could do now is just get in their way, basically.
You have to like set a screen, like a
Basically.
basketball.
Setting the screen. But no, I love stack, like you said, Caleb. There's so many options as far as screens, smoke screens, pump and goes. You can do zone reads if you want to out of them, bubbles, so many options.
I don't even see him on the field here. Is he? Is that him at the top of the screen?
No, I don't think he's
No.
in.
No, I think he's probably think he came off.
Taking a breather is pretty late in the game. Yeah, he's not on the field again. I didn't think they were blowing him out like that.
Probably getting
Oh,
the
no,
series off.
They came back. I think it was 2020 into the half. So
And now the score was
34,
yeah,
30.
34,
34,
34.
30.
It's close.
Close game.
Must just be winded.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot, so probably game a series
Might
off.
have tweaked something. He's pretty much carrying their team this game.
Facts.
Got to be on the field now, right?
Yeah, you got.
It's been about 3 or 4 plays, I think. There he is. I think that's one.
Here, let me play right here. Let me start right here. It's not him at the top of the screen.
No,
Nine.
he's still off. Yeah, he's still off.
1-9. Yeah, we're starting to run low on time on the recording. I'm going to just keep fast forwarding until we see him back into the game, which I'm pretty sure he comes back in at some point. But overall, while we're getting ready to close this thing out, what are some of your guys' final thoughts on Skyy?
Great route runner, obviously physical with the ball with his hands. I love the way he attacks the ball. Like we said, biggest hands in the draft for the measurables. Definitely a guy that's not afraid of contact. A true technician. Definitely loves to get out of his breaks quick. I love how he attacks his breaks. Doesn't roll out of it. He really comes out of them sharp. Obviously, there's gonna be some little things he can work on as far as like maybe like running certain nuances. Because we all know Andy likes his routes to be a certain type of way and have to build this connection with Pat. In the NFL routes, there's some little nuances he'll have to learn. I'm sure he'll pick up on those quickly. But like Christian said earlier, I love the fit. I love his hands. I love his release. Everything's going to add to the room that we've been wanting for a while. So I love everything Skyy brings, and I'm excited to see him just play with us, man. I can't wait for the season.
Yeah, I mean, my only critique really of Skyy is, I'll just go back. There's really 5 parts of a route, right? Like your stance, the release, stem, break, and then the acceleration out of the break. I think that he could really work on accelerating out of his breaks a little bit better and maybe do a little bit better release selection. I think he has all of the tools to be an outside receiver, but sometimes it seems like he tries to get a little too fancy. He's playing 4D chess when they're really playing checkers. Like, just needs to slow down, feel it out, and really, really, really read what the DB is doing instead of pre-planning and executing that plan no matter what.
I like that play right there. He cracks him here to set up the TD, man. You got to love that. He pulls the corner.
Physicality, baby. Yes, sir.
Pulls the corner with him, sets up a big-time block to get his dude in the end zone. Yeah, man. See, that's the thing I like about him. I think he's fearless. He's obviously a competitor. Is he going to see the field early? That's yet to be determined, but I do think that this is going to be, this is a really important draft pick for the Chiefs. This is an important draft overall. But I think it's because, Skyy could be leading this next iteration of skill talent for Kansas City. MVS and Juju aren't locks to be around full time in the next couple of seasons. I'd say there's a great chance Skyy is going to play out his rookie contract. He is the next in line to be one of these playmakers for Patrick Mahomes. And I think that they're going to have to really just find as many ways as possible to be able to utilize him and utilize what he does. As he makes another great catch over here on the sideline. Let me wind this back. This will probably be a good one for us to close off on for the video. And yeah, he just had this guy lost out here in his coverage. He just finds the space.
He came out the stutter to make the DB give him that instant as if he's going to go deep, and then he broke out for the out. So yeah, great situational awareness, great eyes.
I mean,
great call too.
Yeah,
great call too.
Got some offensive firepower up in West Michigan, baby.
Yeah. Well, Skyy on that play does a really good job of knowing what his assignment is. Like that DB on the outside is going to bail, and you have all that room. Don't go too fast in and out of your break.
Exactly.
Easy, nice and easy. You should be wide open. Make the catch. Make a
All
play.
right, fellas. I hate to cut everybody off, but we're here less than a minute. All right, y'all. I'll put an outro into this video also, so y'all be seeing that. But fellas, thank you for coming on. Thanks for doing this recording. I appreciate it. And as always, everybody, keep on keeping on. Everybody take care.